I talked earlier about how naturally pretty it is here. Well, architecturally, it's also really a special place. And the predominant architect in Winter Park in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s was a guy named James Gamble Rogers. He built primarily Spanish homes, but he did build other homes. This house over here to our right was one of his homes, and that's actually one of the last homes that he built. He built that one in the 1950s, and the folks that he built it for wanted every room in the house to look out over Lake Osceola, making it pretty unique. And of course, it also has this white sandy beach, which makes it unique. And the white sand is not lake sand. Lake sand's darker. That was imported from Daytona Beach, which makes that the most famous beach in town, too. Don't see as many birds in the summer as we do in the winter, but there is a heron right there underneath that little cypress. You see it? Yeah, I should have said this a little earlier, but anytime you guys have questions, please feel free to ask them. One question I always get is, do we see gators, especially from people that don't live in Florida? Because if you did live in Florida, you'd know we do see gators. We found a lot, but not nearly as many as we used to. I used to see a gator a week when I first moved here. Now maybe one a year. But that cove back there is referred to as Gator Cove because that's where the gators used to congregate during mating season. Very romantic place for gators. They can watch the sunset from it. But there were so many of them back there about 30 years ago that they called the Florida Freshwater and Game Commission. They came out and pulled about 110 of them out of there and put them in the Everglades, and that's why we just don't see nearly as many as we used to. We're headed into another canal. You can see it in front of us, and as we do, point out a couple things. Big picture window over here to the left. Call that the Windex house. Hate to clean it. love to look out and see the sun coming up, though. What a place for that. Now, the name of this canal is the Venetian Canal. It's a lot longer than the last one. It's about 7/10 of a mile long. It was also hand dug by loggers back in the 1870s. Just looks like the loggers had a few cocktails before they dug this thing. It doesn't go straight, which makes it pretty, but also pretty hard to navigate. So keep your hands in. Don't want to lose any fingers. And I did mention the water lilies earlier, and you can see that they're going back in their buds right now. They're getting smaller and smaller. And we're in here for about 6 minutes, so again, if you have questions, feel free to ask.
Muy sencilla, demasiado.
This banana tree right here, 2 hours ago, it had bananas all over it. Somebody picked them. Watch your heads on this side, guys. I gotta get close to this thing.
Mira, eso es lo que ahora está causando. La lengua es larga, la lengua es larga. No, pero
See, that was a question you guys didn't ask. What happens when a boat's coming the other way? We're going to figure this out in a second.
Ellos tienen que ir para atrás. Ese ellos no pueden meterse ahí. No llevan los guardias. Ah, sabrá Dios, ellos son de ahí, en esa casa. Dame una mano.
Mira esto, mira esto. Yo venía para ahí. Ese garaje.
Pues esos son nenes que ahora no tienen ni licencia.
Unos chamaquitos que están guiando. Tienen Riverside. Hay otro garaje.
Amigo, vamos a movernos para acá.
Man, you are a professional driver right there. You're going to retire to be a boat tour guide. That was good. Good job. Thank you. I got one more behind it. Thanks, Bob.
Mira qué chiquita.
Diciéndolo a él que queda bien y choca.
Mira ese balconcito.
Mira la lancha allá adentro.
Mira eso, mira.
Mira que tiene cocinito allá afuera.
Vamos a poner la cerradura allá.
Mira ese
Vamos a poner la
balcón.
cerradura que tú me compraste. Vamos a poner la cerradura que era barata de 5. Cállame boca.
Mira esta.
Mira eso, que con 4 abrazos.
Mira.
Mira esta gris. David.
Sí, casi mismo que tenemos.
David, así tú puedes poner tu entrada, mira. Estoy cogiendo idea, David. Mira la puerta. La puerta de garaje.
Ya, este no lo mueven a cerrar, tiene telaraña. Esto es un sueño vivir aquí, ¿viste?
Ay, que dicen que no se salga de mira que... Ah, no, esto es
Folks, you see how the tree goes across the canal like this? It
Papi,
didn't
cuidado
always do
con
that.
el
It used to
cuidado
stand
ahí.
more straight up. It got blown over in 1960 when Hurricane Donna came through. Watch your head, buddy.
Papi, cuidado con tu
I'm
cabeza.
gonna lose you. They put those supports up on the left to keep it up, and it's done a good job.
Mira, están
52
vendiendo.
years.
apuntar número. Apuntar número.
Apunta.
Qué bella.
Muy sencilla.
Ay, que está más difícil hacerla. Para ponerle a todo. Sí, ya, yo le pongo a David. Este es David.
And this lake is Lake Maitland. It's about a 480-acre lake, a lot bigger than the others. Here's a cypress tree right here at the mouth of the canal, and you can see the root system of the cypress tree, which has those cypress knees which allow it to grow in the water. There's a little island straight ahead also, which is called Dog Island. About a 1-acre little island, good for boating. And where the guys are fishing, that boat dock is a floating boat dock. And they use that to load the crew boats for Rollins College, because the boathouse behind it is Rollins College crew boathouse. The team practices here, and they also hold some of the races here. A good spot for crew, much bigger than the other lakes.
Mira que allá abajo. Ah.
Now we have a lot of parks here in town, and over here to the right's one of them. This is one of 70 parks that we have in town, and this one's called Kraft Azalea Gardens. You can see azaleas back there. When they're blooming, it's gorgeous. When they're not, it's also gorgeous. It's just a pretty park. The trees back there are cypress trees primarily, and old ones. The cypress trees can live a long time, and some of these trees are almost 1,000 years old. Now, that little 6-column concrete structure over there to the right is called an exedra, and on the back of it, it says, pause, friend, let beauty refresh the spirit, and it's a great place to do that, get your spirit refreshed. Also used a lot for pictures. People come here and take pictures all the time. And weddings, small weddings. The city only allows very small ones today. On the top of this tree are 2 anhingas, which are also called snake birds. You may have seen some of them poking their necks up out of the water. They look like a snake when they do that. And because they swim underwater, they get waterlogged. They don't have enough oil in their face. And they can find places to dry their feathers like that.
En el tope. Ya no es el tope, en el tope. Eso mismo.
Over here to the right, behind those boats, a big building, and that was a hotel. It's called the Alabama Hotel. That's also Alabama Drive right there. It was built in the 1920s. It's a very high-end hotel. A lot of famous people used to stay there. Matter of fact, Margaret Mitchell, the author, was there when she wrote the last chapters to Gone with the Wind. And it stayed a hotel until the 1970s. It was converted to a condominium in 1980. And it still is a condo there. These homes are on a road called Via Tuscany, and that runs right into Alabama. The one with the black shutters is the oldest. It was built in 1918. And it owned that whole cove back then. This house over here to the right is kind of a Venetian-style house, and that was leased by Tom Hanks about 15 years ago. He was filming a movie called From the Earth to the Moon, which was an HBO special. It was about astronauts. He wanted that house to depict one of the astronauts' homes in the movie, so he and his film crew moved in there. They lived there for about 6 weeks. When the movie came out, there was about 30 seconds of airtime with the house in it, so I think they had a 6-week vacation. A little canal over there to the right does not lead to another lake. Everything to the left of the canal is an island out here in the middle of Lake Maitland. It didn't used to be. This used to be kind of marshy land, low marshy land, until the 1920s, and that's when they decided to make an island. They sandbagged the perimeter here and they backfilled it. They created an 11-acre island. Today there are 12 homes here, and these are some of the more expensive homes in Winter Park. The island's called the Isle of Sicily, and they call it that because they shaped it like the real Isle of Sicily when they built it, much smaller though. There's another Anhinka on the base of that cypress tree. But take a look. There's another one up at the top of it too. But take a closer look at that cypress tree. It's my favorite one. It's the only one in North America that grows Christmas ornaments. You see them up there? About 5 of them left. They'll decorate that tree again at Christmas time because most of them are blown off in the course of the year. And in that tree directly in front of us, there is an osprey nest at the very top of it. It's hard to tell from here, but I think there's an osprey about 10 feet below it. We'll see when we get a little closer. To a new neighborhood, making more money. Interesting house back there. That one directly in front of us has the statues out in front of it. Has a pool on the right side. The pool starts on the outside of the house where the statues on the outside are, but it goes under the house and winds up in a room on the inside of the house, which is kind of confusing. To the left of that house is that modern house, and that is the largest house on the chain. It's about 23,000 square feet. It used to have a full basketball court inside of it because a basketball player built it. That was Horace Grant's house. He played for the Orlando Magic. He got traded from L.A., and when he did, he sold the house. The fellow that bought it does not play basketball, but he entertains a lot, so he turned the basketball court into a ballroom. This White House, that was built by James Gamble in 1933, so it's the oldest house built here. And that is an example of Georgian revival architecture.
Can you repeat the name of the
The architect was James Gamble Rogers. The basketball player was Horace Grant. And the house up here to the right, the second floor balcony, that belonged to a pretty fascinating guy. His name was Colonel Robert Scott. He was best known for writing the book God Is My Co-Pilot, some of you may have seen it. But he also led the Flying Tigers. He was the first decorated fighter pilot in World War II. And he was also the first guy to fly over Mount Everest, so very remarkable.
No, mira, fíjate, si hay un jugador de NBA que vive aquí en esta casa de por lo menos 5 o 6 millones. ¿Cómo se llama? Que él debería tocar bocina para que el de allá enfrente sepa que viene aquí. No, que yo digo que él debería de aquí mismo que venga Anthony como guía, como quien es Lumina este que... Mira, estamos viendo esto. Es el dueño dónde va. David. Ya.